Okay, no bullshit, you read the title, we're going to jump right into this. After the Steam VR logo, we got our first glimpse of Half-Life Alyx. This appears to take place in some sort of basement, I'd assume a washing area underneath an apartment building. At the 10-second mark, we get our first glimpse at Alyx's hands, wearing these interesting gloves not before seen in the series. They appear to be a replacement for the HUD, with a health icon and a few other things which we'll get to see better shortly. Here we can see some kind of creature. It doesn't look to me like anything we've seen in Half-Life before, maybe a new kind of headcrab? It has a tail and it skitters around. Alyx is then attacked by a much more familiar headcrab with longer legs than in previous games. We hear over a communicator a new character with a bit of an accent.
Alyx? Alyx!
I'm here.
And then the big one. The Citadel under construction. There are cables all over it, hunter choppers carrying pieces toward it, and a massive view of City 17. There also appears to be a gunship or a dropship in the background here, but it's a bit difficult to make out. And finally, on the ground is what appears to be some sort of strider with Combine soldiers riding on its back. We'll see this much better in the next shot. My guess is that this is the same species as the strider, but with the purpose of transportation rather than combat, as it's missing the usual gun on its underside. In this shot, we get a glimpse at what appears to be the Metro Cops, perhaps taking a few design cues from their pre-release appearances. Between these two shots, Alyx and the unnamed character talk about a plan to get a weapon from a vault.
So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
There's no straight shot to the vault.
Which appears to be this large flying spaceship in the next shot, taking power from the city. Next, we see Alyx using a device that appears to be an earlier version or redesign of the EMP tool seen throughout Half-Life 2 and its episodes. This looks to be a type of puzzle the game will feature, using the tool to interact with electrical objects. In the next shot is some sort of cylinder being pulled from a Combine wall, followed by this shot of the new character. The next shot appears to show Alyx first putting on the new gloves, which we can see have a ton of technology and bits of computer parts all over them. Next shot, the guy from earlier tosses Alyx a pistol, which we can see is an updated version of the one from Half-Life 2. Also in this shot, we see Alyx use the gloves to pick up the gun, almost certainly making these this game's gravity gun equivalent. Alyx loads the pistol up with a magazine that appears to be covered in LEDs or something. Personally, I'd guess that this is to allow the player to see them in dark areas. Next, we see Alyx healing at a similar device to the charger used in HL2, same sound and everything. There's a lot to unpack here. For one, we can see that this little bit on the gloves that was previously empty now shows an ammo count, and the lights are now bright red. I'm guessing that this is connected to the low health. We also see an antlion grub stuck within the charger. Killing these things in episode 2 rewarded the player with small amounts of health, so that's likely what's going on here. We can see the poor thing slowly shredded in some kind of blender, liquefying it slowly and carefully. What the fuck? Alyx shoots at 2 zombies before blowing up the third. The next shot shows that zombies are now capable of breaking down brick walls, and in the background there are strange growths of some sort on the walls and floor. Then we get a glimpse of the new Combine soldier designs, as well as a little Easter egg figurine of the Scout from Team Fortress 2. Alyx scavenges for ammo here and uses what seems to be some sort of handheld shotgun to kill a soldier. We can see that the amount of ammo loaded is shown on the gun itself. We get more details on the storyline when Alyx reveals that her father Eli has been taken by the Combine, similar to in Half-Life 2. We then see a Combine raid, with Alyx and a citizen being arrested, before we get a glimpse of a more classic-looking strider, gun and all. The next shot appears to show a poisonous headcrab, judging by the hairs on the legs, being pulled upward by a barnacle tongue. In the background, we can see just how agile the headcrabs are going to be in this game, crawling around and leaping between floors. There's a quick shot of a Combine train, followed by some sort of stealth area. This scene seems to show a new design for another type of Combine soldier as well, bearing the Combine Elite insignia worn by the Elite soldiers and Shotgun soldiers in previous games. Next we see a holographic map and Alyx tosses a teacup onto it. For what purpose, I have no clue. It cuts to a look at combat, where Alyx throws a box at a soldier which is able to give her the upper hand in the fight, showing how much more depth the combat will have in this game. Next are a few Metro Cops hanging by their feet from the ceiling by what looks to be barbed wire. And then there's what I consider to be the most interesting shot in the entire trailer. It appears to be Zen fauna on Earth from the first Half-Life game. This entire concept and area was almost entirely forgotten in Half-Life 2, and I'm so glad to see it return. The light stalks are back and there's some sort of creepy hand-looking thing in the background. Next shot is this very interesting looking spot. I honestly have no clue. It's most likely made by the rebels. Over the last few shots, Eli has been giving hints to the story of the game as vaguely as possible.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
Over the next few shots, we'll be hearing a Vortigaunt speak.
You will not save him. Alyx Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
There are a number of quick cuts showing a rundown building with a headcrab walking on a wall, what seems to be a 3D puzzle of some sort, and a Combine soldier with what appear to be the pods from Nova Prospekt in the background. Alyx steals a device, seemingly a grenade, from him, using the gravity gloves. Then we get a new look for the zombies, confirming that they'll have a wide variety of appearances through the game. Look closely here to see what appears to be eyeballs on the headcrab's legs. In the background is this thing. It's probably a new version of the poison headcrab, or maybe a new variety of headcrab altogether. Either way, it's really creepy and I don't want to look at it for very long. The next shot shows some sort of humanoid figure ensnared in the Xenian fauna. Judging by the hands, I'd say it's probably a zombie, but I can't be certain. There have been leaks and rumors of this reviver-type enemy, similar to the Archvile in Doom 2, that would bring enemies back from the dead, and that appears to be what this is. By the way, most of the leaks and info on the game before today have come from Tyler McVicker of Valve News Network. Go check his channel out, he's pretty much the only person who's seriously looking into Valve News these days. In the following shot, we get to see the antlions return with a very faithful but interesting new design, and a reference to a very important line from Episode 2.
Close your eyes, honey!
The gameplay cuts here, and we get a fade back into the aforementioned vault. The name of the game pops up on screen. Flip the logo around, and the Y becomes the lambda symbol. And of course, one last stinger before the release date. The G-Man is back and creepier than ever. The game's coming in March of next year. And, well, that's the trailer. Thank you for watching this, I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything I forgot to mention, please let me know in the comments. I am so hyped for this game, I just can't wait.